out the new one and tell them right through now.
Perfect. Good idea. That's a great idea. I'm going to remember that. Thank you.
So let's say we're invited to a boss's home for dinner. Can you just give me some ideas of what are appropriate gifts?
Yeah, can you hold that for one thing? And we are absolutely going to get that because I've got some ideas right here. Another thing is always, and I cannot stress this enough, RSVP. Don't do it the day before. This drives me crazy. And I hate to say it. What is the church out of the worst? They are really bad. Now, if you're from Richmond, Virginia, you're not going to believe this, but those who are really the founders of Richmond, they write formal RSVP letters saying, Mr. and Mrs. Chris Lansing are so pleased to be invited to dinner on October 26th. We will be there. We're looking forward to it. Now, I'm not asking you to do that, but please pick up the phone or the RSVP depending on what's on the invitation. There's a question. Yes?
The classiest people who came to my wedding were the ones who hand wrote RSVPs to my parents, because it's my parents that were hosting it. And then they also sent my parents a thank you note for inviting them to the wedding, because my parents paid a lot of money to feed them and host them at this party. So I was like, oh, I really need to do that for nice.
That's exactly right. And if you're all here because your husbands or you are getting advanced degrees. You want to stand out. Remember when President Kimball, I guess it was President Kimball, who said that the women of the church want to stand out in wonderful ways. This is one of the wonderful ways, is in the etiquette and the way we show these kinds of great ways of respect to other people. And you will be noticed if you do these nice things. You really will. Another question? Yeah.
Well, I have a couple thoughts. So I got a really nice thank you note from Carlin when she got married. She didn't even know me, but I'm friends with her husband. Really. I went to your wedding reception, by the way.
You did.
And it was really wonderful. And my mom and I bought them a gift, and I got like this really nice thank you note. And I didn't even know her, but reading the thank you note, I was like, wow, like she doesn't even know me. She didn't like say, oh, Clint, you know them when you write it. Like it was, and I'm sure it would have been wonderful from Clint too. But it was really wonderful, and it was really nice. Thank you. But another thing that I've seen that I have actually really liked is I've seen wedding. I've probably gotten 2 or 3 of them. So thank you note. It was on a postcard, but it was a photo of them using the gift. But it wasn't cheesy.
Okay.
It like was nice.
That's good. Then.
Photo of
I'll
them
go
using the
for
gift
that.
on the back of it. So it was on a postcard, and then they wrote a really nice thank you on it. It was cute.
Okay, I can go for that. I'll go for that.
It wasn't in an envelope.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I do like envelopes, yes.
So when you said, you know, the worst, you're like, it's the worst to say, oh, we got these sheets and we really use them or something.
Yeah.
So for what you do, because, I mean, I found problems where notes fell off, yes, like, it was like,
Oh, it's so hard.
and even if I knew, and, you know, like, so what do you think is a really great way to say thank you for as you get one?
Well, I first like to say thank you. Then I try and remember if they were at the reception or at the baby shower. And say, it was so great seeing you. It meant so much to us that you would be there, that you would take the time. I know you have such a busy schedule, but it meant so much to my husband. I really didn't know you that much, but now my husband, it meant so much to my husband, whatever, if you don't know him. And you just go, it's a lot more than 3 sentences. Try and double it to 6, and you'll be just fine. Yeah, just more than 3. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm sorry I keep saying 7. Okay. Okay, now, let's go on to something else before we get to some of this, and that is dress for success. Okay. Those of you who are 2nd and 3rd years, I'm sure your husband is starting to interview, or he already has interviewed and got his job. How many have jobs already? That's so exciting. That's wonderful. Well, I always have said, and maybe it's too late for you all, but 1st year, I'll tell you, is that he should get a new suit. Oftentimes, the guys who have suits are either the suit that they wore on their missions or when they got married, and haven't gotten a fresh tie or a fresh suit. And when when your husbands get suits, you need a new dress. You do. I would say that to my husband, but I won't say that to you. But you are going to be needing a new dress in the situation that you are in. And I always say, just get a little black dress, because it will take you in a multitude of places and will always help you. When you don't know what to wear, a little black dress will get you, or a black suit. But I think black suits are a little more formal. If you want that kind of look, that's great. But black is always good with a fun scarf or something. But you definitely need to do that. When I was talking to my husband today at lunch about some of the things I was going to say, he said to me, you need to tell them that they need to watch what their husbands wear when they go out the door. Now, I always, in almost 36 years of marriage, I always watch what my husband, and mainly because he's colorblind. And he can't tell, you know? He can't tell pink, he thinks that's, or red, or green, he can't tell any of those colors, or purple, he can't see any of that. And he'll think it's blue, or, he has really come up with some good things. And so he said, when your husband walks out the door, he not only represents him, but he represents you. And I never thought about it that way. But that's what he told me to tell you today. He said, because when he does go out the door, he does represent both of you. And so you want him to look good. Now, if I was going to be mean to him, I would mix, when I would do the laundry, I would mix the black and the brown stuff. So when he was up on the stand as a bishop, you know, he crossed his legs and was black. No, I didn't ever want to do that on purpose, but, you know, you do. You want him to look good. But he needs for you to look good as well. Now, okay. A lot of people have asked me, what about jeans? Now, I know a lot of you are wearing jeans today, but when you go out, and let's say I have to just tell you this story that happened to me. My husband and I have just been married a couple of months, and we, of course, live in Virginia, in Richmond, which is a very conservative place, so I do have to qualify. And we had been invited by the bank to go to a football game in Charlottesville for University of Virginia, which is the bastion of conservatism. Well, he came down first, and I didn't see him dressed, and then I came down. I came down and looked at him in the kitchen, and he had on a navy blazer, khakis, and a tie. I looked at him, and then he looked at me, and I had a shirt and cowboy boots and jeans, because I grew up in Cody, Wyoming. And he looked at me, he said, what are you wearing? I said, what are you wearing? And he said, Erlyn, trust me, go put on a skirt. I said, a skirt for a football game? He said, number one, it's very hot, and it's true. In September, in the East, it is very hot, and jeans are not fun to wear in the East when it's so hot because they're hot, you know. I said, Chris, you have got to be kidding me. He said, Erlyn, please, I promise you I am right on this one. I said, okay. So I went out and put on a cute skirt and a cute top and sandals, and the people came, and I was so grateful for my husband. They do tailgating there, which is huge. And when we got to Charlottesville, and the biggest thing is not where your tickets are in the stadium, it's where your parking place is to tailgate. And the woman that we were with, they opened up the back of their trunk. She had a linen tablecloth. She had a silver candelabra. She had, I mean, you would not be the serving dish. This is in the back of her car. wear it to work, if he can wear, you know, he doesn't have to wear a coat and tie, then probably, I don't know, not very often. Your dress, you have to stay up to date. We love fashion, don't we? So, yeah, you need to shop. And if you're pregnant, you need to shop too. You know, you cannot look like death warmed over. It's hard enough to gain all this weight. And you need to feel good about yourself. And our youngest son, Chase, in fact, my husband talked to him this week, his wife is pregnant. And I heard him say to Chase, now you have given Bliss some money, haven't you, so she can go out and buy maternity clothes. And then I could hear nothing. He said, Chase, you need to do that now. She's 4 months along and she needs to go out and buy clothes, you know? You have to do that. So, now I don't want you to go out and break the bank, and I certainly don't want you to go into debt for that kind of thing. So you know what your I don't want people to say, Sister Lansing told us to go do this. But you do need to dress for success. You do need to look appropriate.
Can I just say along that note that I found that less is kind of more, like buying something that looks really great and put together and is a quality piece is better than having 5 things that look kind of sloppy. And I know it's kind of hard to walk in and set one thing, but I found having like a really classy pair of black heels, and those are my only black shoes, like that's great because they go for so many things, and it's better to have less than more.
Perfect. You know who I just love, and I shouldn't say this, but Catherine Middleton, Princess Kate. I love the way she dresses because she's so modest. But she wears the same off-white shoes. I've seen her wear it dozens of times in a lot of things. So that goes to exactly what you're saying. And if you notice, except when she has on her tiara, and you know, she does not wear very much jewelry. Normally, she wears very little. So I go to that. It's better to have something quality that you know you're going to really love than 5 other things. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I always get a little worried about when it says the dress is dressy casual or formal or semi-formal. And I was like, what does that mean exactly? I'm not sure.
Formal this time doesn't mean what it used to mean, which means long dresses. It really means a dressy black dress to the knee. Unless you know that they are ball gowns, for the most part, I have not worn a ball gown in years. You know, when it says black tie, I'm usually in a very dressy black suit or dress, sequins, something like that. Resort casual is more than jeans. That's more like white slacks with a pretty blouse. You know, it's more than or a short or a knee-length dress. You know, dresses are really such an appropriate thing to wear with just ballet flats rather than slacks, because you can always wear that and you will never go wrong. You really can always be very appropriate in a dress. It doesn't have to be a fancy dress, you know, and you'll be good. If you're invited to someone's home for dinner, and especially on a Sunday night, I'm going to talk about that